Good evening, everybody. Anyways, it is Mama's Vocalocity here, and I got a great new video today. I wanted to talk about learning a song. Learning a song is really important, either for an audition or for a show, or if you are a vocal performance major. Learning music is something, as a musician, you're always doing. And so learning a song well the first time is very important. One thing I tell my students is that when you are learning a song, don't make mistakes, or make as little mistakes as you can. And any mistakes that you start making, circle them in the music, make note of them, because if you keep making the same mistake, you're actually learning it that way. And my voice teacher always told me that it takes like 28 to 30 days to create a habit. It also takes 28 to 30 days to break a habit. So I just have a few steps on what to do when you're learning a song. First thing, I would listen to the song. If you can find a recording of the song, that's the best way to go. Now, when I was a vocal performance major, a lot of the songs that I learned, there wasn't necessarily any recordings of them because maybe they were like old art songs or something like that. Well, back then, YouTube was not very big. I don't even know if YouTube was around, but now we have YouTube, and it's one of the tools that I utilize all the time in voice lessons, whether it's classical music or commercial music. I use YouTube because you can find just about everything on there. So, having said that, if you're learning a classical piece, I would go on YouTube and type in the name, and I guarantee there'll be, a slew of people who have recorded or performed the song, or a lot of times it's live performances, and I would just listen to it just to get a feel of the song. Now, if you can find someone singing the song that you're trying to learn who you really like, when I was a vocal performance major, I was always looking for Black classical performers because that's what I could relate to. And so Leontyne Price was a big one that I always looked for. Jesse Norman was one that I would look for. So look for a particular artist who is actually doing the song that you're performing. And what's so great about that is you'll get a lot of tips on how to present the music and how to sing the music. Especially in like gospel or pop. A lot of times there's many different arrangements of one song, and you can kind of pull from all the different styles of people doing it to create your own for that song. So the first thing I would do is I would listen to it. Now, what I tell my students is don't over listen to it. Don't let it be on repeat on, your iPhone or your iPod or your MP3 or whatever. Constantly. You want to listen to it enough that you're familiar with it, but you don't want to memorize it that way. Especially if you're learning it to perform it on your own. You don't want to listen to it because then that'll be so stuck in you that it'll be hard for you to make it your own. So I would listen to it just to get a good feel of it and just listen to it without the music. Then I would listen to it with the music. And I love doing this because being able to hear it and read the music is like the perfect combination to me. And so then I would listen to the recording while I am reading through the music. And I would do that for a little bit, but not too much. And then I would start singing the song. I may take the music and just try to sight read it a cappella. Or I would sit down at the piano and do it a cappella, and then when I mess up on a phrase or some notes, then I would plunk it out on the piano to get me back on track. Sitting down at the piano is really important, I think, also. I always like to play my songs. Now, I am not the most amazing pianist, okay? I play because I have to for my students. But But I always, whenever I got a piece of music, even if it was like, 30-second notes or something, I would still sit down and try to play it because even that is teaching me and it's giving me a real hands-on approach to learning the song. So that's one suggestion. Sit down and try to play your song. If you can't play the accompaniment very well, then just start plunking out the notes. Then, depending on if it's a pop song or a gospel song or a Broadway, and you can find a recording, start singing to that karaoke track. If it's a classical piece, when I was studying voice, my voice teacher would play everything onto a tape player for me so that I could learn the songs and be able to rehearse with an actual accompaniment. So that's another way. But as you're doing that, I would go through the music, and as you're messing up on certain things, circle it, mark it in that music so that you're not creating a bad habit. And then when you go back through it, you'll be aware, okay, this is a spot that I generally mess up on. Okay, let me be aware of it and fix it. And the more you do it the right way, the better. Then you're creating that new habit. Next, I would just start memorizing it. And by this time, it should really be in your head. It should at least be 85% memorized by that time. When I was learning, a German song or a French song or Italian song, and I was trying to memorize it, I would sit in my bed right before I went to sleep and I would read through my music and try to memorize it that way. Because something about right before you go to bed, it being in your head, it would help me memorize it so quickly. And I am a visual learner. So just looking at it helped me to memorize it. Like I'm the chick who, if you give me directions to somewhere that I've never been before, and I'm reading the directions or even doing, MapQuest or whatever, once I drive there and read those directions, I can find it 100 times after that. I don't forget. Whereas a lot of my girlfriends, they completely forget. They don't know where north is, south is, east or west. If they've gone there like 10 times, they still can't remember. So I'm very visual. So just looking at it helps me to memorize it and to get it into my brain. So then I would do it with the accompaniment and just keep doing that over and over again until, even if it's not memorized, I'm able to read through the song perfectly and get everything right. And then I would perform it. So I hope that this video has helped you. I don't know why I keep scratching my nose. Anyways, I hope this video has helped you on how to learn a song. Let me know what you think, and God bless.